like, damn, baby girl, that ass is indeed fat. Oh, hello. I'm Travis Terrell. How you doing, baby girl? Welcome to We Are Live.
Hmm.
I hate when we go live in the middle of a conversation talking about ass. I wish you guys would give me a warning,
Mm-hmm.
please.
Classic Terrell.
You know me.
Mm.
Always talking about that ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's a memeable moment. Derek Tockett, sign up. Good morning, everybody. It's We Are Live. Excited to be here at Midcoast Studio. Check out the Midcoast Media YouTube channel. Subscribe today. We've got a lot to get to. The Great American Race. Lots of things to talk about. We have the Bacchanalian Ball this Saturday. Travis and I will be hosting that over in Soulard. Be sure to check that out. And big thanks to Tech Electronics for this lovely equipment in the studio we work with every day. And let's say hello to Aunt Chris. What's on the phone? What you got?
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
Man, stop being nosy.
Oh,
Can
can you see it?
Stop being nosy. Stop being nosy.
It's easier to look at the screen.
For half a second, he wanted to be actually mad.
Uh-huh.
Maybe a quarter of a second.
Look,
a
man,
quarter of a second.
Chris will be sitting over here typing
eighth
up a
a second.
dissertation for an hour and a half.
I gotta
and I don't
talk.
be
I
asking.
gotta talk to people.
I don't
and
be
you guys
asking the
talk
damn
about
thing
boring
what's going
stuff.
on in this thing. I don't know ever what's in front of. Sometimes I just think it's a blank screen and he's just typing his fingers just so he doesn't have to be involved in the conversation.
The soothing sound of
Yes.
the
No.
keyboard clicks that keeps me sane.
I think it's a weird thing. I think Chris watches the show on the computer, and I don't know. It's one of those things where you just see each other in the security cam.
It's
and you're just like,
distracting. I'll admit it's distracting.
He doesn't type when he wants to get away from whatever you're saying or I'm saying. It's more of a.
just a shame.
Mhm.
Just like a
get-
dog.
He's
who
just. It's just waiting. He's just waiting,
And it never ends.
and then it's good
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, that's generally how.
Speaking of good,
Oh, you're a transition guy
Hit
now.
him with the psh. There you go. Hit him with that. Psh, psh.
speaking of good, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Show him. Oh, don't tease him. Don't tease him like that, Gardner. Don't tease him like that. One more time, Gardner. Hit him with the. There it is. Beautiful cuticles as well. What up, walnuts? There it is. There you go, Chris. Hey, oh, well, you didn't have to do that one.
Yeah.
A ball.
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Come
yeah.
hither.
Oh, yeah. That's just a lot. That's like a
Yeah.
turkey fingers.
Had all the.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. We had all the fuzzy talk and everything, and we're gonna wind down the format of the show fun for on Valentine's Day is the final episode with the three of us. It's actually because Gardner does stuff like that. Is why this is like Travis.
I
This
do
is
take care of my cuticles.
this is reason number one.
Can you see that down there? I don't
This is
know.
why things are changing.
I put some
You
lotion
weird.
on it.
You weird. No, I don't want to see
Oh my
lotion on
God,
my
I have a
little
phone
fingers.
call coming. Who's calling?
Oh, you should answer it.
Doorman job.
Answer it. Could be them.
No, I haven't applied yet.
Oh.
I'm doing.
Maybe they just heard
research
about you.
right
Maybe
now.
maybe it's a headhunter who picks off
Right.
potential
All the up and coming
doormen.
doormen.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
We've heard about this Gardner.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to sit down with him.
trying to think, did I pay my Spectrum bill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're good there.
Just go down the list of people. Who do I owe this month?
Okay, cell phone's good. I know that. I think I'm caught up on bills.
There you go.
Yeah, so I don't know. Who
Play a
that
game
was.
called Who's Calling Gardner.
Could
And
it-
what's Travis looking at?
Could it have been my doctor?
I hope
I
not.
got my prescriptions yesterday.
Could you be pregnant?
Could be pregnant. Did
You wear
did
pregnancy pants.
You do.
I would wear them, yes.
Uh-huh.
Did you
I
miss?
have khaki pants with an elastic waistband.
Gardner, are you late?
For
Oh,
You know. Are you?
I-
Have you been having unprotected sex?
I will tell you this, sir. I'll be damned if you're gonna ask and question if I'm late.
No, I'm asking if your body
Yeah.
is.
I know,
Oh,
but anything to do with late, you do not get to question.
that's fair. But that's it. Because I'm an expert on lateness, wouldn't that make me all the more reason to be the person to question you?
No,
Okay.
it's a nice try though, Dershowitz.
What a fun day that was.
and we're off.
What a fun day that was.
I was waiting. As soon as I said it, I was trying not to smile before I said the name
That's good.
because I knew Chris would do an adjustment in his seat at that point.
Yeah.
And
I
I was trying not to smile at it.
I've tried listening on NPR a few times, and I was just like, this sucks that I can't. There's just so much going on. And I'm not saying you should ignore what's going on. I am saying that it's like a cat screeching while running its nails across a chalkboard to me.
And you have misophonia.
Yeah, you do. You hate hearing things.
I've been seeing that pop up more and more lately.
What do you hate?
Misophonia.
Sound? No, anybody that make a noise?
Yeah.
Any kind of noise?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up over there tying your shoe. Making all that noise. Be quiet. You're going to put your gloves on. Can you please keep it down? Shit.
What if our show was just Travis, you do a sound.
Probably get way more downloads.
Somebody sneaking into the office?
Did I book a guest and forget?
That's what I was wondering.
I'm going to see what's going on.
That is,
And then-
that is, this is why we do this live. This is why we do it live. I love that we do this live. And that's all the more reason why.
And now we don't know what's
We
going
don't
on.
know, so now we just have to sit up here and speculate. Who
Now-
could it be?
Now, what if, like, as this is going on, because we were making fun of Chris's sounds and all that,
Right.
and then, okay, hey, let's have fun with that. And then a sound from out there gets all of us.
Yeah.
Chris gets up and leaves. Now, what if I just took my headphone off and just got up
Just
and
got
left?
up and left too. This would be, oh my goodness, this would be crazy live. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We've never done this before. There's no one here. Who's going to cover the show? I don't know. I don't know. How does Bernie do this every morning?
Just start talking to yourself.
So, I tell you, America, it'd be American.
It'd be wildin'.
It'd be wildin'. America be doing America stuff. And I'll be like, what? America, you crazy?
Yeah, you shouldn't host a show by yourself.
What if that was my audition tape for future radio shows?
If you go back and look at the clip, and since Chris isn't in here, I can mention this real quick. From Pam Bondi, one of the attorneys for the president.
Former Attorney General of the state of Florida.
You can see her trying to put together a thought yesterday for about 20 seconds, where
Jesus.
she's flipping through papers.
Are you serious?
And she's like speaking a word every 4 seconds, and it was a struggle and a good laugh.
My
So
God.
that's what you just turned into. You're like, I can talk about whatever I want, but I probably shouldn't.
That is where I stopped myself.
Yeah.
I realized I probably shouldn't just talk about whatever the hell I want to hear.
What would that be?
My current state is almost piggybacking off what Chris was attempting to talk about, and it's just the apathy towards the current process of the impeachment trial. But I understand
Some
why
of that
it
is a
exists.
strategy.
That is
as
a
well.
strategy, and it is, and I recognize that too as well. I think it's just disheartening to watch a lot of this play out, mainly because you always thought that these conversations would stop at the water's edge. You always figured, look, if we got into a room and we had to look at nothing but the facts, the testimonies, and the witnesses, that we'll let that play out and then vote accordingly. If you want to still acquit this president, please, by all means. But what I never understood is, if that's what you're going to do anyway, then why not call for the witnesses?
Well,
and you realize, obviously, it's a legal strategy to do that, and it's also a political strategy as well. It's just, I think the process for me, and I know it sounds naive, because it's very easy to realize what politics is at the end of the day. You see, it's obviously at the end of the day about who can maintain power the longest.
It
and
most
for-
certainly is, because especially when you, and I don't know if I'm enjoying this, but I'm glad it's on the record.
Yes.
Watching, in particular for me, someone who I think is a complete phony and is a senator of ours,
Of course.
Josh Hawley,
Yes, sir.
who considers himself to be a constitutional lawyer, tweet out his support of certain arguments that are just hand by scholars,
Right,
historians,
right.
and people in the law. And like, yeah, this makes no sense.
And that's even-
and then him supporting it,
Yeah.
and then knowing that, okay, this is who you are. At least people know, and you have to live with this. And if you're okay with that, you're good with that. That's fine. But this is what you are, and I'm glad you get to put it out there, and I'm glad I get to comment on it.
Absolutely. I think the thing, though, that really is even more disconcerting is because, like I said, you look at Biondi and you look at
Bondi,
excuse me, and you look at Josh Hawley. You look at individuals who served as attorney generals of their state.
Yeah, but Josh Hawley really,
Right, but-
he didn't do anything.
Right. I just think for
Grimes
me,
is in trouble. Let me do as much as I can't do
right.
in my position.
But that's the thing that
he hasn't really done anything when you think about it.
no, he hasn't. He's given several profiles to the
He's
Hill.
off like
Politico
chasing
from time to
the
time.
Candy Crush crime syndicate
Yeah.
around. He spent more time in Hong Kong, I think, in the past, let's say, year than. Oh my God!
Oh wow, that's what that. Oh, who would have thought that loud noise was coming from a black woman? Hey, hey, girl, where you go? Where you been? Now it just looks weird. Now people think we just talking to random people on the side of the
Stacy
street.
Static has showed up and summoned me. And
Man, you gonna be here all day, or you leaving? Oh, you suck.
All right,
And now
get
your
outta
phone
here.
ringing. Get out of here, Stacy Static.
I know you miss me.
Bye.
Stacy Static. She was like, I told you I was coming by in the morning. I go, we do the show 5 days a week at the same time.
So the
She's like, oh, yeah.
That grabbed Chris is Stacy. I haven't seen Stacy in damn near a month.
Media legend, Stacy Static.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Mm.
Gosh, I wanted to talk to her too. Oh, what a loser. I'm going to beat her up later. In a polite,
Oh, boy.
beat up way, of course. Boys and
with
girls.
words or
with
something?
words. With words of love.
Jesus.
Obviously. But no, I think Tim, we can just wrap that point very quickly. I think it is incredibly dangerous for a lot of minorities in this country with this argument,
hell are you
with some of
talking
the
about?
arguments that are currently being made. You're literally saying that if
Here,
you
let
are,
me help Chris.
yeah.
Hello, anybody here?
Yeah.
There
Oh,
you go.
gotta go.
Gotta
Gonna sit over here and talk about minorities having dangers when you just threatened to hit a black woman.
go. With my words of love.
You piece of
No, I just think that like some of the arguments are very dangerous, and the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of. Look, we know the judicial system is absolutely flawed in many respects, and especially when it comes to the outcome for many minorities who go through the system. So it's really it's gaslighting, like with napalm.
And drunks who go through the system.
Very true. But it does feel like gaslighting with napalm when you hear an attorney, one who used to have a reputable background in Alan Dershowitz, say essentially that if it's long as it's within the public interest, you can break the law. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know,
Every scholar I read was sitting there like,
as long as it's within the public interest. Chris, hey,
What are you
Alan Dershowitz.
I did see that.
what are
but
you talking about?
But you know what I'm saying? So my immediate thought was I was thinking about all those black and brown people currently going through the system where the system is just playing tennis games with them, bringing them back and forth, and they're spending all this money, destroying families. And then you hear a scholar like Alan Dershowitz, one of the finest to lead
I would
Harvard
consider
University.
him a constitutional scholar, though.
Yes. However, but you see someone like Alan Dershowitz and you see people who held positions of attorney general say to the national public that as long as it's in the public interest, it doesn't matter. And that to me is so dangerous and so disconcerting because there are people fighting literally for their lives. And now you have people, because they want to retain power, who are willing to just essentially say, fuck the law, fuck legalese, fuck Constitution, fuck Supreme Court. If the president decides that he thinks it's in the best public interest, he can do it. He can say, Chris Demon, hello. I'm going to put a gun in your face. I'm going to pull the trigger because I believe the American public needs to be saved. And I also think it's going to help me get reelected in 2020. So therefore, I am technically allowed to do this. I think when you're going down that path, there are other entities, who probably thought, I can never cross that line, who are now saying this morning, well, if they're arguing that in the Senate floor, well, then let's see what we can do.
What if I just went around on a crime spree and every time I did something, my personal excuse, it's for Trump re-election.
That should be the thing.
you're
That's what we should do. That's the new thing.
Taking candy bars out of Schnucks. Where are you going with it? Trump re-election.
Sir, do you know how fast you were going? I do. I was going 25 miles over the speed limit. Sir, in a school zone. Yeah. Sir, that is incredibly dangerous. Hey. I'm trying to get to a Trump rally.
Yeah. For Trump re-election.
For Trump re-election. Yeah. I'm good.
So that's it.
That's all you had to say,
do
sir.
anything bad now and just yell Trump re-election.
Trump re-election.
And you're good.
I think sometimes when you put things out, especially like this, we've seen it before. Like you just, that's scary. I don't want to be the old black woman that goes to church 6 days a week, but it does feel like some end times type of shit when you have a person stand in front of the U.S. Senate and say that the president of the United States can do it. I mean, I'm not trying to be over the top, but I am.
Every group of people said that it was the end of
I
shit.
know.
Every group.
But man, Gardner,
What about the groups that aren't here anymore?
Like that group that was in Roanoke.
Oh, relax. Oh, they just went up the river and they didn't tell people where they were going.
Oh, okay.
Everybody just calm
Tell
down.
me about the Mayans.
Why
don't you tell me about the Watchers?
You know, while we're here, why not? What is a conspiracy theory you want to be true?
I mean, are aliens even a conspiracy anymore?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
I feel like I think aliens have left the conspiracy realm, and I think we're at the point where we're just like, you're just being naive if you believe they don't exist.
You know something's in the backyard. You just haven't turned the light on yet.
He's like, man, they don't sound like a raccoon. They ain't a little bird, because it's making these weird clicking noises. Nah,
in
buddy.
In regards to aliens, some of the ancient and sacred texts that we consider to be religious in nature, that some would interpret as maybe not gods or a god, but instead creatures from above. Ancient astronaut theorists would agree with me and say yes to that. That if let's say those interpretations were correct.
Right.
That would be something, because then there's a tangibility to belief.
Tangiosity.
Is that a word?
It is now.
Yes. Creating words.
I want the Jordan was hungover theory to be true.
From the flu game?
Flu game.
It was confirmed.
No, it wasn't. It's only confirmed if Michael Jordan himself says that's actually what happened. I'm not going by. Like I said, it's still a conspiracy based on what people have said.
Was it Rodman talking about it, or was it a reporter that was with, or was there a comedian that hung out with Rodman?
I mean, there have been people who have said on podcasts that they think that Jordan did go.
He was like flying to Vegas.
Yeah, but
who did we talk to that was talking about that?
But I want that to be. I want it when they
could have had a bad buffet.
Could have had that too, and it could have been food poisoning in Utah. Somebody at the hotel could have gotten to Jordan's food.
Oh, now you're really on the.
Especially, well, Travis has had food poisoning like 740 times. So, yeah.
I would want a face-off theory that I heard.
Yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Where Jeffrey Epstein did a face-off and is actually Ellen DeGeneres. I would want that to be true.
Our friend Greg Fitzsimmons, who's here next week, has been on the show several times. Boy, I'm going to see if I can prod him. He's under a non-disclosure agreement, but man, he will allude to Ellen not being a nice person.
Man, we not going to disrespect Queen Ellen.
I love that part about Greg Fitzsimmons.
Here's my thing, though.
He makes me so happy.
I think the thing for me is like, probably there was a day or maybe a moment where Ellen probably was an ass. But I think her good
not human.
I think her good outweighs her bad.
Okay.
Like yesterday on her show, you hear about the kid in Texas who was told that he couldn't walk across the stage because he had dreads.
Dreads, yeah.
They told him they had to cut it off.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Well, Ellen was like, "Fuck that noise. Here's $20,000 to go to any school you want."
Just gave him $20,000.
Give him $20,000. So that type of shit, like, so she was an asshole to her writers at one point. Okay, sorry. You know, people have those times. That's not excusable. However, shit happens.
I'll remember this.
Because
bring this same energy.
Well, yeah. If your energy matches that of Ellen, then yeah, absolutely.
I do disagree with what Travis you said. well, that's not excusable. Well, fuck that. And you just
Fuck that.
You're
You look,
basically saying
if-
it is excusable.
Man, if you give $20,000 to people who were just wrongly told that they couldn't graduate with their peers because they had fucking long hair, and you want to give them money to go to school, then yeah, you're kind of cool in my book.
Okay. Well, I mean,
Now, I've heard you.
It's not more than. I mean, it's
Now go
more
ahead,
than-
go
No,
ahead,
I've-
bring it on. Who you
I'm
got? Who you got?
I'm
for us?
saying
see-
it's more than one story we've heard regarding.
Correct.
No,
this,
from
too.
one person.
No,
No,
more than
no,
one.
no,
Who
person.
has said other negative things about Ellen?
Yeah, you can
who?
find.
You
can find a million.
We will.
Okay.
If you want to do the research, this is if you want to. You might not like what you find.
Okay. Man, y'all don't just say it. I love my girl Ellen, and I'm gonna fight for her to the death.
That's
if,
fine.
If he can fight for Joe Rogan, I'm gonna fight for Ellen.
Well, you fight for Jeffrey Epstein.
From the
Wait, hold
New
on,
York,
time out.
from the New York Times. Ellen DeGeneres, not as nice as you think.
According to who?
Feeling. Oh,
I
man.
my president says that the New York Times bad, fake news. So who? What do the sources say? I'm sure they
Enemy
put
of
their
the
names
people?
on it. I'm sure
Listen,
they put their names on it, of course.
No, for sure. I've heard that. I don't know. You can have a bunch of different. Yet,
Maybe you can if you have all these NDAs floating around.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, man. Can the good outweigh the bad?
Maybe.
Okay.
Depends.
I think if you were to look at the totality of Ellen's record, I would say her good outweighs her bad. Based on the things she's done, I think certainly over her career during her talk
Yeah.
show,
But can you say something about someone like this? Hey, you do a lot of good work.
right.
I appreciate what you do for communities and stuff like
Right.
that. But I'd never work for you because you're kind of an asshole
Right.
to people that work for you.
I've just
Like
heard,
you are not a good you're not a good manager of people. You don't interact properly with
Right.
them, and I think you cross the line.
I think that,
And you treat people when it gets you publicity
right.
and it's for your show,
Right.
and you're able to do stuff for that.
Right.
You do that very well,
Right.
and it's very known, and it seems to be very self-beneficial to you.
Right.
Whereas when it's a behind-the-scenes type of thing, we think you're kind of an ass.
Having said that, if Ellen would like to throw us $20,000,
Yeah.
she's the best person
And I
on the
would,
planet.
yeah, I would agree with that too.
I would.
And I don't know that any of that's true.
No, I see what
was
you're
just-
saying, though.
I was just making it up as I go along.
I'm curious though.
Trump re-election.
There you go. I think there's. Here's my thing, and I'm not disputing what Greg Fitzsimmons. The guy literally was physically there, worked with alongside of her. I'm not by any means saying that he's lying. I'm saying that
And he
There's
hasn't
one
even given
that's-
the details.
one, there's context, and you do need details, and there's
They
two
can't.
sides to every story. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not disputing what Greg Fitzsimmons is saying. I also would like to hear the other side of that flip coin, because we have seen in this industry, especially, people give one side without alluding to anything else on the other side or the context in which it all took place.
I get it. You're wanting to hear Weinstein's side.
Oh,
I
boy.
get it.
Here we go.
I get what you're
And the
saying.
man currently has his day in court, so he'll have an opportunity to speak his side.
That's true.
So he'll have his opportunity to say what he has to say. That's what me and Gardner were talking about earlier in regards to this current impeachment situation, to bring it all full circle. Is that at the end of the day, you present your best argument, I present my best argument.
And whoever,
then-
whoever yells loudest wins.
Generally, that's how it works. That's kind of the rule of sports talk. But I think that's why I have recently become a little bit more, because I always felt that there has to be, I guess, Chris, something where we can come to the altar with together. You know,
wanna get
there has
married?
to be, well, if you
Keep me away from the altar, all right?
that's fair. I don't think there's a ground that we can all stand on and have fact-based interactions with anymore. And I think the people who are going to get hurt the most, with all due respect, are the people who don't look like the people who are currently having the conversation. So those senators, they're playing with fire because they know it won't ever burn them. It won't ever touch people that look like them. It won't ever touch people of their class or their look or their race. But that they're playing with the type of legal fire that could reverberate around this country and truly hurt people who are already struggling in a system that's already considered bigoted, racist, sexist, etc. So that's why I'm more down on these proceedings, because it's just like,
some people present it as party over country. I think it's even more than that. I don't think it has anything to do with party. I think it has to do with self-preservation.
There it is.
It's completely selfish.
But then I think even the
Like,
thing,
absolutely power-hungry selfishness.
but the self-preservation, it's so obvious to I would hope
Yeah.
to so many people that's why I get down when I hear people say, I don't know what's going on with the impeachment. I was like, I wish you would, because it's not even good argument. It's like, it's not even like a good defense. It's not even like the Republicans are saying, well, we've had witnesses who say otherwise, and we've had people that say. It's literally, hey man, if we keep talking about this shit, we're gonna lose the election 2020. Wait, what? That's your defensive argument? If we keep talking and we keep bringing up witnesses, we're going to lose an election. We're not talking about whether a crime or whether it was impeachable. We're talking about self-preservation. And I think I don't think people understand the ramifications this is going to have throughout our judicial system.
Yeah, look,
It's so devastating. It hurts.
Now, the way you're talking, you seem to be a judicial scholar.
I
now.
have been.
Right. This super confusing, weird trial that no one knows what's going on.
Everybody knows what's going
Travis
on. People
is-
do know what's going on. To say that people don't know what's going on is bullshit. If you're
Can
not
you tell
paying
me definitively what will happen and when?
Nobody knows. The only people who know are the people in the room, the senators who ultimately decided.
But
to
that's
say
what I
that
just
people,
said.
But
I
to
just
say
said that nobody knows.
Yeah, but to say that people don't know what's going on, you said people don't know what's going on with this trial. People do know what's going on with this trial.
But you can't
And if
tell me what's going to happen
but I-
and when it's going to happen.
That's the point of a trial, Chris. No one knows what the jury is ultimately
Yeah,
going to
that's
decide
fair,
at the end of the
because,
day.
like, juries are.
We don't like
It's
that.
confusing to the normal person.
No, it's not. Don't
I'm-
stop. You can't.
I'm telling you
if
it
you
is.
do not, if you choose not to pay attention, you can't say it's not
All
confusing.
right, you're the expert, and
No, I'm
everybody
saying
should know.
No, if you're choosing willfully not to pay attention to the conversation, you can't then play. It's confusing. I don't know what's going on. You have already admitted that you haven't been following. So how are you going to say it's confusing?
Because I have heard it, I have listened to it. It is confusing. It does drag on. It is extremely crazy. All of the stuff that happens, it's not normal. It's tough to follow exactly where this will go because they don't know where it's going to go. I'm not saying that the process can't be done or played out. It is wildly confusing.
I think that's-
and
I think
wildly.
that's
it's
where-
a crazy thing.
Where Chris's point is valid is what he just brought up, is the process itself can be confusing. And you've even recognized that yourself, Travis.
Yeah,
right?
when the trial started with the roles
Yeah,
of the senators and the roles of the managers.
Even where we go now, there's still going to be things that we're all going to be like, oh, I didn't know you had to do this now too, or that now you got to do this. Like, we don't understand the process. We have
Right.
we don't get that part of it.
But we also don't.
So that's I think that's very valid. Is the process part of it. Now the argument part of it, I think, is much easier to decipher.
Right.
The
And
arguments themselves.
But that's what I'm saying. It was at first when it broke, it was, man, I don't know. Let's see it play out. Then it plays out, and then people are like, man, I don't know if I can follow this. Then we go to trial, and then, oh, man, this is confusing. At one point, are you going to engage into discovering what's going on with this process that has large ramifications as to how it's going to affect our democracy?
I would engage on focusing not necessarily the process, but the arguments.
And that's fine. But I'm saying, but even there was a moment where
If you
there
were to
were.
simplify it, that's what I would suggest.
We're sitting here saying it's okay for people to not understand or be mad and not vote, and then you expect the average person to be able to follow stuff that is all on media. You're not in the room. You're all that stuff. I'm just all I'm saying is the entire process itself. I'm not giving an opinion on. When I say ridiculous, I am saying the stuff that they roll out as like, well, he was doing this. It's like, wow, what? That's so confusing, but it's within the rules of a very conflicted and strange
Well,
game.
And Chris is right in a way too, because part of the strategy is to confuse. Part of the strategy is to distract by a certain side,
Sure.
and so that's part of the strategy.
Of course.
So that would be, and if someone a layman who's going to be in and out of this, and might get their recap from the nightly news, even is not
Certainly.
even watching a news network. Yeah, it's going to be.
I'd say the people
confusing.
involved seem confused
But
as well.
Well, they're making confusing arguments, but I don't know if that's by strategy or just by incompetence.
But that's the thing. Like, I don't.
And that's a tough thing to follow.
Now, Dershowitz, it might be his seems to be incompetence, because it's just like no one would support what he's saying. Josh Hawley, maybe,
Definitely, Josh.
which is embarrassing. But there's just
Certainly
the points he
embarrassing.
makes, just like nothing supports like current scholars, historians, writings of the founding fathers.
Right.
Because like he had me like I'm reading Federalist Paper 65 the other night.
Right.
just trying to go back. Okay, I'm like, he's making this argument based on that. I'm like nothing he's saying is in here, and it actually says quite the opposite. And so it actually takes us to make to figure out some of the confusion. It takes a step on your own end to go and read something that you normally like. No, I'm not normally reading a Federalist paper on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night, and that's what I ended up doing just because of I'm like, this can't be right.
Right.
But I needed some comfort. But people have kids, people have other shit going on in their life, and they don't necessarily are going to take the time to do something like that.
And I completely understand that people have other things going on.
Yeah.
And it's very clear
But
that's the case.
and that's part why the strategy is what it is
Certainly.
to confuse, is to throw shit out there, keep changing your own talking points, move the goalposts, do all of that, because they know people have other shit going on. People can't, in the age we live in, the information we gather on a daily basis, it's easy to confuse. It's easy to do that.
I was confused earlier, and we have listeners that help us out. Brandon Lang told us that story about Jordan and Rodman.
No, then I would definitely put
Las
an asterisk
Vegas
next to
and-
that. Let me put an
I
asterisk.
think you probably
Put
trust everything he said.
Put an asterisk next to that.
Brandon Lang, what a wild guy. He's like, hey, if I come to St. Louis, we played some golf and hit a strip club. I'm like, I don't really do either.
Yeah.
We're not.
Golf sounds nice.
I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it.
What
Not
if you
gonna be able to
combine
do
it and do one of those? What if you combine it and do one of those things where you do the tournament where the strippers are the cart girls?
No, those don't turn out well. They normally end up in the paper now anyway, too.
Yeah, that's a bad that's a bad
And
thing.
somebody normally ends up with some sort of legal issue after that, too.
That's what happened.
At least one person.
Remember the scam that the city had with, or the police department, or some people in the police department had with tow truck drivers around Mardi Gras and towing trucks?
No, I don't. It's hard to keep up with
That
some
was
of them.
real bad.
I feel like they were
would just
connected.
tow.
I
They
think
would
it-
just.
Yeah, I feel like it was connected to a relative of the Slay
Okay.
family.
Was it Slayer or was that like the?
I feel like it was.
Let's
I feel like
I don't
somebody
wanna-
at City Hall
I don't try.
had
I
a
feel like
brother
I'm just gonna
that
start
owned.
throwing names out. And I
Yeah.
thought there was a Moqua
That's true.
thing. And
It could have
that's-
been. I think that's probably a part of it, but I thought it was also.
I didn't want to just start throwing names out
yeah.
like I just did
Yeah,
to,
that's not. And Travis. How about this?
because I can't remember.
Yeah,
who-
you just threw out a former police chief.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
threw out the former
Let me
mayor.
try and remember every fucking name involved in a political scandal in this city and county in the last 25 years. Okay. Yeah, they all just kind of blend together at some point.
Real quick, happiest hour tonight, 6 o'clock. Show up. Yep. Yes. Right here, Ground Center. What? Grand Center. 3224 Locust. Stop by. It's on the second floor. Comedy tonight. Got a great lineup. Our friend Lisa Pocket's coming in from Columbia. Got Will O'Donnell. Sam Lyons is on the bill tonight. And it's always presented by Jack Daniels. And you got Schlafly specials available. Be sure to stop by. Have some fun with us tonight at Happiest Hour. Special start at 4. Show starts around 6:30. It'll be a good time as always. Oh, Corey Stewart on as well. And she's starting a podcast tomorrow right here at the good old Midcoast Studios.
Saturday.
Saturday. Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Travis, I know you've been down lately
Sure.
with Kobe's untimely death.
Kobe baby.
Now, you might ask yourself, like, how can you smile when thinking about something like that, right?
Absolutely.
I think I can make you smile
Okay. What do you got
regarding that.
for me? Okay.
Because it ties in something that we've discussed before on the show,
All right.
and I've discussed on other shows, and it's not taking a shot at anybody or complexities of the person themselves. It's more about your family as well.
Okay.
So I saw this tweet, and it made me think of a lot of different people,
Okay.
and it made me laugh, and I think it would make you laugh, even though it involves untimely deaths.
Okay.
So this is a tweet from a gentleman who said, "This is what it looks like in my dad's head." And you can see this artwork. Where
Is
it's-
that Paul Walker?
It's Paul Walker in the car. And Kobe Bryant. And they both got halos above their heads.
They meant well by this,
And
right?
they're
Man, if you could talk.
and I
if
saw
you could
this
talk
and I'm
to-
like, This will at least make him smile.
That's crazy.
If you could talk to Kobe or Paul, wouldn't they be like, man, that is so corny. Get me out of that.
Yeah.
I think I saw one where there are two angels just walking by, and Kobe in the background shooting basketballs into their halo, and this new guy's annoying.
This could be a thing as heaven memes when people pass away. I never thought of this as
I
corner
saw-
in the market.
There was a
I
couple.
saw
That's
someone
one.
that made a face. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say someone had one with Jesus crossing over Kobe. Essentially said, "No, I got crossed. Now I'm about to do the crossing," and I was like, "All right, Twitter. You
See, there are ways
you
to
know
take
you
it.
have
Yeah.
but there's ways to do it, and that was good. There have been a few that have been very
I saw
very
one.
good.
I saw one that it was like a reaction of like confused, like, and it said, "Angels in heaven whenever Kobe shows up before Magic." I was like, that's funny. It's funny. Everyone, I mean, you
Yeah.
would have never ever expected that.
But then the guy put up a follow-up tweet too, and he's like, "My dad's Facebook post of the pic, and it's his dad's screenshots. Need a ride, my brother?" So it actually is going on in his dad's head,
man.
and he also had a photo. He took a picture of his dad just staring at his phone, looking at the pic. That's why he posted. This is what's in my dad's head right now.
Pretty amazing.
So I laughed at that.
That was good.
It's fantastic.
There've been a few that have been very good. I
The
think
cross one is good.
the one that really got me laughing for the first time in a while was the one where they had the gang members, Bloods and the Crips, with the bandanas,
bandanas.
and they're holding it like a unity flag, and it's like LeBron stands and Kobe stands this week, and I was like, yes, I said the age old, the battle between the two. This unfortunate, the fortunate loss of Kobe Bryant has brought them together. No, it's I think the NBA is trying to get back to it. We saw in Staples last night the LA Kings tribute. They were the first LA team to play inside Staples since the passing of Kobe Bryant, and so they had a tribute. The Lakers are going to play as of right now tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, Friday, against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Lakers finally issued an official statement through their Twitter account. We saw Frank Vogel and a couple of the Lakers players finally speak out. I don't believe we've heard a statement yet from the Buss family. The Buss family, and from what I understood, Jeannie and obviously her father, Dr. Buss, had a very strong relationship with Kobe, even post-career, certainly. So we haven't heard anything from Jeannie as of yet. But we did hear from Vanessa last night. She put up a post on Instagram. And obviously it's as heartbreaking as one would imagine. And they're apparently going to raise money for the families who also perished in the helicopter. Shaq has also decided that he is going to go to Miami this weekend for his annual Super Bowl party event. And he's going to have all proceeds raised
I saw
towards
that.
the Kobe and Bryant Foundation and to the families, again, that was perished. So, I mean, like I said yesterday, with the girl dad hashtag, and it's one thing when you go through these tragedies, it's often very good to see people not only galvanize, but, try to find ways to put the pieces together. And often that's for the good of those who were lost. And so at least they're going forward with that. But I will say, I just hope Kobe asked Paul, hey, man, did you make a left to go to heaven? Or did you just take an off ramp to get on another highway?
Kobe goes, yeah, I don't need to ride in the car with you.
I think I saw another one that said there was Kobe's looking down from heaven on us as we're crying, saying, "Y'all bitch ass need to get back to work, get back in the gym. Y'all need to hit the gym. Sitting up here crying for nothing." But people are handling it as best as they can, and I did see something though last night on Twitter that
Oh, you were on Twitter again, huh?
this week I've just had to. And I did see a trending topic that warmed my spirit. Oh, it warmed me so much because all of Twitter decided to take the time and shit on Jason Whitlock. Miracles do happen!
Yeah, I saw that.
Jason
Black
Whitlock.
Twitter, the Black Twitter drag him.
Oh, did they drag?
Gene Hackman's trending on Twitter right now.
His birthday was yesterday, right?
Oh,
I
okay,
thought he turned 90. Or I thought he turned 90 either last night or this morning.
It's one of those. Now,
Yeah.
here's the thing that I do when I see a trending
Gene
topic.
Hackman, 90. Ain't that crazy?
Someone's name and I click on it, and they're not dead, then it's immediately I see that Denzel GIF where he's
Yes.
like
'cause
that's
people
the
just
that's the go-to one.
that
with
is the go-to because
yeah.
you have to take a deep breath. Yeah, but
Sorry, I was
think
looking
G
at trending topics after you said that.
But Jason Whitlock went on his show, Speak for Yourself, on FS1, and Jason Whitlock has a documented history, even as recent as just a couple months ago, of shitting on Kobe. Not just Kobe the basketball player, but just Kobe the person. He has a long documented history of completely shitting on Kobe. And yesterday on Speak for Yourself, he pulled out the biggest crocodile tears. Oh, the biggest. Oh, my goodness. And obviously everyone's like, you hated Kobe. We literally have video of you telling us that Kobe hasn't even grown as a person. You have consistently shitted on this man and his legacy his entire career. And now that the entire world is at full stop, you're pulling out crocodile tears, trying to show that you are certainly emotional about the passing of Kobe Bryant. Get bent, you fat piece of shit.
Oh, okay.
Someone brought up some of his old writings too, and
By the way,
they were just. It wasn't even well, I guess part of it was the content. It just was terrible writing.
it was awful writing. He's not,
back-
but that's the thing that's always
It's just-
completely
it
amazed
was-
me about Jason
it
LeBron.
was
He's a
like-
terrible writer.
Like this is like a WordPress blog post or something like this is how I would do it.
Oh, man.
Like just ellipses everywhere. Like yeah, just keep going with these thoughts, see where they end up, and print.
Yeah. The
Publish.
worst. The worst.
Yeah.
So anytime the world can galvanize around hating Jason Whitlock, it does warm my heart just a little bit.
Yeah, I guess I don't know. I just look at him as insignificant. So
He is, and I think,
I think that about a lot of things, though.
yeah, that's true. I as well. I know. I think sometimes, yeah, I see what you're saying, though, Gardner. Absolutely, as far as giving someone that's that insignificant that much attention.
He ain't
However,
done shit, man.
he really hasn't. He really hasn't. And that's, I think that's this thing that often just bothers a lot of people. Like, again, I said this week, and I'll continue to say it, feel how you feel. I don't think it's right for anybody to necessarily jump in and say you shouldn't feel this particular way, but it is really difficult for me to digest that Jason Whitlock has sympathy for anyone, let alone Kobe or anyone black for that matter, that doesn't belong to his family or friends, that he would sympathize with someone like Kobe and the people who are struggling during this difficult
He's like
time.
a national Elliot Davis.
He is Ortiz, the Black Ortiz.
I need to ask Sam Lyons if I would get served before Jason Whitlock at the cookout.
Man, Jason Whitlock show up to cook like he getting his ass beat. There ain't
So
no
I
doubt
get
about
served.
that.
Do I
Well,
get
first of all,
served?
his fat ass is gonna try to jump everybody in line to
Do
begin
I
with.
get served
Oh
before
hell
Whitlock?
yeah!
Okay.
Well, now we may ask you to do a job for us after we.
You know I don't care.
Okay.
I'll be
That's
fine.
why I love this guy. This is why I love this guy.
What do I care?
That's true.
Speaking of jobs, I know you got the tweet, but I want everyone else to know too. Job fair this weekend.
I saw it.
Saturday.
Did I send it to you?
No, I sent it to you.
You
guys.
sent it to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I put it this way.
Or maybe you saw it and then I sent it to you.
No, when I said who did you send it to me, I said it only because 25 other people
Yeah.
also knew better to send that to me.
Yeah, the medical cannabis industry is having a job fair, I believe, at UMSL this weekend.
It's my time to shine, baby.
If I get some time, I might just hop on the Metrolink and go over there.
Anything is possible.
So if I'm going over there, should I contact you?
I'm already, baby.
Are you already going?
I'm there. The thing starts the job fair begins at 11.
So what
Travis
time are you
will
in?
be there at
1?
probably.
You could.
No, I'll be there. I'm going to show up though. I'm going to be
What
there probably
time?
early because I know the job fair portion starts at 11. I have to do the Batmobile ball this Saturday, and so I need
You know,
to.
you don't have to.
No, I mean, just tell me what time it is and when I have to dress up. That's generally how I work. I'm talent. Just tell me where to go,
Are you?
what
He's
to
gonna-
say.
Are
I'm
you?
here. Hello.
He's gonna come
Greetings.
dressed as Batman now.
I'm going to show up as Batman. Chris said it's a movie,
did
Hollywood
not.
Nights.
The
He said it's
Batman
a
ball.
movie. You did say it was Hollywood themed,
It's Hollywood Nights.
so I can show up as Batman, and I would
that
technically
probably
be
the most-
okay.
that would be hilarious, actually. Now damn it.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it was the Batman ball.
See, this is why I try to nail down details for Chris, because I tell him if you don't give me the details, that gives me room to work things out in my head. So
You
he
don't
just
want
said,
that.
oh, it's Hollywood themed. He didn't say it had to be a tux, it had to be a suit. It had to be Hollywood themed, and now I'm going to show up as Batman, and now he's realizing I should have gave Travis details.
I actually wish you would show up as Batman.
If I
That
can find a
would be
cheap
amazing.
Batman outfit, I'm going to probably, if I can find one that's inexpensive, I'll wear it.
I really
Hollywood
think you
thing,
should.
yeah.
Hey, welcome to the Batman ball. It's called
It's
what?
Hollywood Nights themed. Like, not just Hollywood. Like, don't show up like as like the Black Dahlia or something like that. Like, now that you've said this, Chris, we do need to clarify.
Yeah.
that.
I tell Chris,
It's
don't
like red
clarify.
carpet.
That's
It's like
actually,
red
you know what?
carpet.
We shouldn't tell you what the theme is. We should just we have to just tell you what to wear.
There it is. That's what I try to get Chris to do all the time. And to Chris's credit, he's doing it so he does, like, because things are so
'Cause
flexible
we
and
don't-
so fluid.
Like normal people would just get the fact that you just Hollywood Nights.
Travis, just wear pajamas. I'm not telling you the theme. I'm going to tell you what we're doing. Just wear pajamas.
Yeah.
Be there at 5. That's all I want from Chris. But he's like, man, it's going to be kind of a Hollywood theme, red carpet.
This is how I talk.
Yeah, it's kind of how I'm Chris Dimmy. Look at me. Hey, man, did I tell you about that time I threw a football 85 yards, man? Oh,
You were there
my
once
shoulder was
at Lou Fest and saw it.
Well, they had it marked off. They have the yardage marked off at Lou Fest.
I love. You know what, Gardner? Let's do this. Yes. Are we gonna put this to bed finally?
How did you
There were
mark it
there were
off?
20 witnesses there for the first
Like,
one.
how did you measure
At
it?
Mizzou? Okay, at Mizzou's field there was measuring.
And
there
that
was
was
a football field.
and that was a certifiable 100-yard sanctioned football.
Was this on
field.
Faroe Field?
This was not on
Absolutely.
Faroe Field.
It was on Stankhouse.
This is on Stankowski.
practice field that is marked off.
That's the soccer
Is
field.
it properly marked off?
No, it's just a joke mark off.
No.
Yes,
people-
and there
people get it
were
wrong.
20 witnesses, photos, a trophy
Where's the photos?
online. That's
Okay, so there's photos online.
uh-huh.
Do you have access to them?
Okay.
Because it seems if it's one of your shining moments that you talk about often,
would
that
think
you
it'd
have.
be
I don't
Easy.
talk about it
Easy
often. It's been
access.
disputed.
I mean, I think it's fair to dispute something
So-
that doesn't have evidence.
So who can we
There's
talk to?
been
that saw
evidence.
it
You were
happen?
working at fuck both of you. Listen, we had witnesses call in. We had
Oh, you had witnesses call in?
yes.
He's doing more than the impeachment trial.
Wait,
At least he's bringing
so-
testimonies
wait,
for it.
Travis,
There
you
were
didn't
people
tell
that were
me-
there.
Travis, you didn't tell me they had witnesses call in.
No, because it's fun for him to make me feel like shit.
No, it is.
And what did the witnesses say?
Why would I like?
I like-
It
I just-
happened.
I like-
Ask the guy who lost to me.
I like just challenging Chris's
you guys
athletic
drinking?
prowess.
No, it was in the
It
middle
was-
of the day.
and you know, Chris
The
was
a guy drove in from Kansas. It was a drunken argument that turned into
it was
an
that.
event.
It was that. It was an event.
Now,
It was
hold on.
feeding. It was a.
I asked if you were drinking. Just because it's the middle of the
No.
day doesn't mean you can't
No,
be
we were
drunk.
not.
Trust
They
me,
drank.
I
They
know
drank
that.
later in celebration.
Could not
I
drink.
do remember Chris coming in saying that he
Travis
threw the
was
football
working,
the furthest.
AKA he was watching SportsCenter when I walked in.
It was nobody in the dining room.
It was
So
a
you
full
were,
day.
So you were working.
Working.
I'm excited.
I
though.
hate both of you so much.
Yeah, the Lou Fest one though seems hard to have credibility.
There's no
with it.
credibility. There's
But-
a large parking lot.
but
that
this other
it
one
got
seems
aired
to
out.
have-
It got aired out at Lou Fest.
And then when we did,
Now, Travis.
we went to an actual
but
football
Travis,
field.
Travis, was Chris there when you threw the guy
Oh my
out from
gosh.
left field during the softball game?
I
at the
was.
play?
I was. Yes, I was there for that.
Yeah, well, Chris was there when you did that, right? That's how the story.
No. No.
Because Travis, you threw him
No.
out on home plate, right?
I threw
On
that.
the fly.
From the warning track.
I remember Travis being like, "Hit the cutoff!" But oh, we got him.
I haven't heard of that story.
Shut up, both of you. Let's take a break. Gardner needs to smoke. I'm glad this is ending.
We just did to Chris what Chris and I did to you the other day, and what we did to that. That's fun. That is a
That is
fun
good.
game.
That's one thing that you two. You're good. You're freaking good at that. Poor Dr. Ed. I felt so terrible.
Leonardo DiCaprio, Shutter Island.
Sugar, right? And the thing is, you guys know exactly what you're doing. You know how incredibly
And we-
painful that is.
And we can see the looks on the people's faces too, where there's just like. That, they should do that in the impeachment trial. That would make it entertaining.
That would be
Someone
funny.
just starts listening.
Someone just starts stammering. They just start throwing out random cases.
Yeah, just start throwing shit like names at him.
Lewinsky.
What? Wait.
What? No, not that case. The
No.
case I'm
Yeah.
alluding to. O.J. Simpson.
No, Yeah.
No,
You know.
what's that case, man? What's that case called? Shit.
They just have to sit down and
That's what Gardner's gonna. That's what Gardner's gonna do to me this weekend. We're gonna be at the job fair.
You're really
And
going to the cannabis job fair?
Why the hell not?
I would like to. I just have to get some work done here on Saturday first to get out there. That's why I need to see what the times are.
You know what?
in
Let's make
particular.
that. I'm gonna go anyway, but let's also make that our trap view.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's make our trap view. So I'll take some pictures. Maybe see if I can get a conversation with a
Because
couple
if I
people.
can't get out there at the same time you are,
Right.
then yeah, we can do that.
No, I mean the medical marijuana. Looking at the story, it says it's intended to create nearly 4,000 new jobs in the entire state of Missouri. So I mean, okay, why the hell not to see what it's about? And
Yeah, 'cause
hey,
I don't
have
know
a customer
all-
service background, Chris.
all what types of
If you know what I mean.
yeah, we got you. What
Doing
types
drugs.
of jobs they're going to create? Like
Yeah.
you can think of the obvious ones, but there's probably underlying things as well that we're just not thinking of right
How do we
away.
become weed sommeliers or smoke-aliers?
I told someone about that last night. A friend of mine,
they were
he
like-
liked it a lot.
This is where it starts because you're going to look up in about a year and you're like, I can't believe those guys are on the cover of St. Louis Magazine as the leading experts on recreational and medical marijuana and Vest soda pairings.
Okay. That'll do it for the first hour.
Billion bubble beverage.
We'll take a quick break. Big thanks to our friends at St. Louis Counseling Services
Oh.
for working with us and supporting us. And you support them by checking out their podcast
Right.
on stlouiscounseling.org, the website. Quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, Chris Dem and Travis Terrell. We are live, and that floating head is Chris Gardner.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's right. Lots to get to this hour, including the Great American Race. First, let me say thanks to our friends at Gateway Powder Coating. They support us, so you need to support them. If you have metal products that need powder coated, they'll take care of you. Number one resource for powder coating in the Midwest. They're here for you, everybody. Make sure you support them. Travis Gardner, do we want to jump right into the Great American Race?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's time for. Hold on, I think I got a phone call. Oh man, yeah, dog. I'm in the middle of a segment. I'm about to blow it up right now. Yeah, man, I gotta call you back. The Great American Race.
There's no open.
No, there's.
And by the way, you were talking on that phone.
Okay, my bad.
It was a white person.
You would be correct.
Yeah. Because you said, yo, dog. You wouldn't say that to a black person.
No.
You would say, what you into?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh. I've heard your phone conversations with
Yeah.
white people and black people.
They are different.
Oh, Chris Gardner calls. Oh, good morning, sir. How are you doing?
Well, wouldn't it be weird if I talked to you like, yo, what's good, dog? If I talk to you the way I talk to my black friends, wouldn't that be weird to you? Wouldn't you be like, dude, what are you doing?
It probably would be.
Yeah, so
But
that's why.
I'm
So
glad
that's why
you
I'm like,
do it,
hello,
'cause
Gardner.
It also lets me know where I stand.
That you're not black? He is so upset. Oh, so I'm not one of your black friends.
I can honestly say, like, I have no idea what goes on in both of your heads. Yeah.
Wait, that ain't fair.
Some people know what goes on in mine. Therapist.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Got it.
Hey, man, that don't exclude you. You sometimes be going off on CTE moments where you just have spots where you just
Don't
completely
guess
blank
like
out.
me, pal.
That
I
ther-
can say buzzwords too.
Yeah.
He's figuring it out.
Yeah.
He's adapting.
I'm learning about those as well when you fill out a resume. What word should I use here? My therapist told me I'd never be content.
Was that like the first 2 minutes of meeting you?
Yeah.
As soon as you wrote your name on the piece of sign-in
That's how
sheet,
my mind is.
she's like, I can tell right now, you're never going to be content, are you? I can just tell by your signature, sir.
So
This is going to be a fun session.
it's more about managing that than trying to, get rid of it. Oh, my cross to bear, though.
It is your cross the bear. It happens, man.
What are we doing? Oh, yeah. The Great American Race.
There
We
it
got the
is.
Scoreboard. Travis had a
is
good week
horseshit.
last week. He had some help, though. A lot of help from...
Okay. You're
They
muddying
love my
the waters.
watermelon, cause you know they're just so sweet. Red or yellow meat, my prices can't be beat. They the best in the land. One bite you understand. Trust me, I ain't playing. One taste and you'll be saying, You love my watermelon.
He had help from LSU watermelon lady.
To be clear, that is not the submission for this weekend. Cannot be considered when scoring. Damn it.
Just lost 20 points
What
already.
in God's name?
Yeah, just because it was that good.
Well, you're gonna get smoked today, Travis. I yield to you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Mine is pretty simple, and it's a guy that's a hero to Chris and a hero to the people that he also calls heroes. And my Great American Race starts with none other than Ari Shaffir.
Ari pick on Jewish people?
No, I'm picking on yo
He grew up Hasidic. Go ahead, finish
which
your
makes his
finish your
story
point.
even more disappointing. His grandparents were survivors of the Holocaust, so you would think someone
Were
like
they?
Ari Shaffir, they were. His grandmother was a survivor of the Holocaust, and you would think someone who clearly has family who has gone through
Sorry
such
that I
terrible
had
and
to ask
agony.
Travis if he was actually telling the truth in that case.
He's
But
a
that's
filthy
crazy,
liar
right?
at times,
I-
which would probably affect scores in most places.
fair.
But you would hope that someone who's had family that's endured such horribleness would recognize that there's a time and place for, I guess, celebrating horribleness. But apparently Ari Shaffir didn't get that memo because earlier in the week, of course, finding out after Kobe Bryant and 8 others had passed away in a terrible helicopter crash, Ari Shaffir took it upon himself to go to Instagram and
the IG.
The IG is
The
young
gram.
It
people
was
call it.
actually Twitter.
And Twitter. He did it both. And he decided to celebrate and mock the death of Kobe Bryant and those who had perished in the helicopter crash. And of course,
You gonna quote him?
I can absolutely quote him. But Ari Shaffir was recently also dropped by his talent agency, and just yesterday, the night before yesterday, he was supposed to perform a set in New York at a comedy club, and the comedy club had to cancel his appearance because there were death threats that were
God.
made to the.
He has
the
a
place.
special coming out too. This could not be worse timing.
And not only that, he is also, and I think this is just, I think the other double win. Ari Shaffir is also a regular, a frequent guest of, gosh, what is that podcast? What is that podcast?
Careful,
That is
because
so
you haven't read
popular.
the tweet yet.
That
or
wasn't so
you haven't read
popular.
what he said yet.
Oh man, Joe Rogan. He's a popular guest on the Joe Rogan podcast, and this is apparently his shtick. His thing is when somebody of importance, a celebrity dies, he goes out and he tries to, antagonize people who are going through a miserable moment in their life to make fun of it. And so I think a guy like Ari Shaffir would be an embarrassment to my community if he's out there being braggadocious and trying to make bad jokes about people dying tragically in helicopter crashes. But hey, some people like to put the comedian tag on the end of it
What
and
if they
say
were
it's very
good
funny.
jokes?
They weren't.
Okay.
That's the thing. I think if they were good jokes, perhaps his talent agency
have
that's
an
been alongside.
example?
Yes, I will bring that up as well. But you would think if they were good jokes, perhaps just maybe.
I've
his
followed him a lot,
talent
and I'm not
agency
saying it
wouldn't have.
couldn't be out there, but what do you mean that this is his shtick?
He said before he does this where he will, when a celebrity dies, because he says celebrities and certain notable figures have a God status, his idea is to try to bring them down, tear them down. So it's something that he has admitted to saying that he consistently does when someone passes away. He later tried to backtrack or try to, in an odd way, attempt to apologize by saying that, the thing is when you offend a bunch of people and it's not funny and no one laughs, and at the end of a statement you say, I was just joking, guys. I'm a comedian. I was just joking. But I guess
wouldn't do
after
that.
getting, having trouble booking shows and now not having an agent, I guess you have to finish a statement with, it was just a joke. But he added that he posted this video before he learned children were on board, because that completely changes the situation, which I certainly don't believe. But he published a lengthy mea culpa on his Instagram explaining that his video was a bit he does when any celebrity dies, where he posts terrible things about them. Every time a beloved celebrity dies, I post some horrible shit about them. I've been doing it for years now. I like destroying gods. And right when a famous person dies, they're at their most worshipped. So as a response to all the outpouring of sympathy on social media, I post something vile. And then he finishes with, it's a joke. I don't really hate any of these people. So,
Where was that? That was on his Instagram?
this is a Hollywood Reporter. This is what he's verbally saying. This is what he said in the video. Kobe Bryant died 23 years too late today. He got away with rape because of all the Hollywood liberals who attack comedy, enjoying rooting for the Lakers. As I read this, I'm looking for the punchline. Excuse me.
That's why I'm confused, because I took it as he hated him as he perceived him to be a rapist. I didn't think it was a joke or meant to be a joke at all.
He said it's a joke. Big ups to the hero who forgot to gas up his chopper, says Ari Shaffir. I hate the Lakers. And finished that comment with, what a great day. So, yeah. I would say that's perhaps not the best look. It's a troubling look. It's a terrible trend, if that's something that he thinks gets over for jokes. But it's something that even I've talked about in regards to the place where a comedian should go and not go. And we've argued about that. Comedians generally have free reign. But to
Just be good.
just say, what a great day after someone dies in a horrific helicopter crash. Again, help me, because I am not a comedic expert, where the punchline is here, Ari. Ari Shaffir is full of shit. He's an embarrassment to not only, I think, your community, but an embarrassment to the comedic community. And so because of that, I think he should drive Chris's total maybe down to 350. Just saying.
You're going to tell him how to score?
Yeah.
I'm not telling you how to score.
lose
It was
10
just it's
points
a
for
recommend.
that.
It was a recommendation.
I don't need your
Okay, thank you.
recommendations.
Right, right,
I had deleted points already.
Okay, very well. So yeah, Ari Shaffir.
You read about,
If Ari Shaffir ever shows up in St. Louis, I'll slap the shit out of him.
not kidding you, because he's got a special coming out. I saw him here in St. Louis with Joey Diaz a few years ago. He was funny. I saw him at All Things Comedy Festival. That was gross. There was some stuff he did there. But now that I'm
Oh, is
reading
that
this,
that guy?
oh yeah,
The hot dog guy?
he was one of the hot dog guys.
Oh, okay.
And then
I
my
remember you
best-
telling me that story.
Now, the best part about this also is that,
I
you know,
didn't
with
know.
it being a joke, with it being a shtick, and with
Yep.
him antagonizing Kobe Bryant and his fans, I'm curious, why did he go private on Twitter then? That's
Well,
interesting. I'm curious as to why this
well,
guy who felt
Travis.
so courageous to come out and celebrate the death of children in a helicopter crash now wants to
says-
go private.
Why did you go private?
Oh, because, man, I did a job.
Now,
many- yeah.
did you not tell me? I'm sure there's a reason he went private, though. I mean, did you not tell me?
Oh
they
no!
had to
The reason is
cancel a
because
show?
there's a tool that there are a couple tools online that I really do not want.
No, I mean for him in particular.
Uh-huh.
Was I not just told that he had to cancel a show in New York because of death threats?
The club received a threat.
Okay.
The club received a threat that if Ari Shafir is to go on the show, that they were going to come in
So,
and shoot up the
I
club.
think you pulled up an article, and what you read was one of a 9 post on Instagram.
Okay.
So he explains himself more. I'm not saying it's.
I mean, if
it's
you had to
alright.
explain the joke, it wasn't funny, right? If you have to have
I-
a
see,
9
that's
post
what bothers-
posting on Instagram to explain the joke, then clearly it wasn't one, or it's a very, very bad one that you're now spending multiple posts trying to explain. So as a seasoned comedian, you failed. Just acknowledge that. Just say, as a comedian, what I do for a living, I fucking sucked.
He did.
I tried to tell a joke, it failed, and I need to own up to it. Don't be a bitch now and go private. Don't be a pussy now. You were so big and bad on IG. Come on, Tuffy.
Keep that same energy.
Keep that same energy. There you go. That's what I'm talking about, man. See,
You ain't say nothing but words.
Thank you, Gardner. That's what I'm talking about, man. I ain't said nothing but a word.
So he didn't actually feel like that, which makes that thing way worse.
Worse.
Because if he was just doing it because he like legitimate, but if you read the whole 9 pages, he explains it out. I'm not saying that that's or whatever, but he does say there's stupid jokes that he does. He never had anything against Kobe except he torched his favorite teams. And then
So what is
whatever.
it about the rape, or is it about him torching your favorite teams?
No, he
or is it
explained
just
it
a
in the-
joke,
read
or it
the-
wasn't a joke?
read
And
the-
I,
read the thing.
I think like when you're quick to post a joke like this, it's like a reporter quick to post an accurate
He
information.
actually says
for
that. He
right?
actually says
Because
that.
he mentioned specifically, what was it? I'm paraphrasing. Props to the pilot for that gassing up or whatever.
Right.
And then when there are other people involved and children involved.
Here, let me
then
read
you're-
But
this
my
real
thing
quick.
is,
You
props
wanna
to
hear
the
it?
pilot for not gassing up. The pilot said too.
Yeah.
So that's about, you know what I'm saying? So when you, but I'm saying even in that moment, you know people are raw emotionally. And if you're raw emotionally as well, then step the fuck back. But then don't try to insult the intelligence of those people who are hurting by then putting, it's a fucking joke.
I would.
Every
You're
time-
full of shit, Ari. Just say you were an asshole. Just say that.
Yeah, I would be surprised if he were surprised that he got this kind of response.
He says, I don't
Like-
really hate any of the people. Here, you want to hear this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them I've never heard of. Did you read that part?
No.
Some of them I've never heard of, and I have to look them up after all I see the RIP posts. Some of them I actually really admire, and I'm bummed they're past. It doesn't stop me from trying as quick as I can to write some terrible shit about them. They're all just jokes, though, and I would never tag anyone in them, and that's all associated with the person. I'm not looking to hurt anybody mourning a loved one, just looking to post inappropriate jokes for my fans. They've come to expect it from me. A lot of times I'll suddenly get a bunch of tweets saying, where's your so-and-so tweet about some person I didn't know had died yet. If I have time, I rush to my computer to get something out. Sometimes I'm just too busy, but sometimes I got the 3 to 10 minutes I'm willing to take for the project. And then once I post it, most of my followers, let me read the whole thing.
Oh,
and then
yeah,
you
go
can-
for it, man. Because the more
again,
you read, the worse it sounds.
I'm not standing up for it. Most of my followers laugh. Sometimes they ain't great, and I'll get a lot of swing and a miss comments. The better they are, the more people like it. Some of them start reposting it, and a handful of their followers get angry, and the rest of us watch the anger and have a good laugh at the troll. Sunday morning, I started seeing a bunch of people asking me where my Kobe post was. The early reports showed that he had died flying a helicopter that he liked flying. Didn't mention anybody else was on board, let alone children.
Oh, wow.
Let alone children. I never made fun of any of the kids on the helicopter. They're not celebrities. Kids dying like that, it's horrible, obviously. All the other people dying, that's horrible too. It's horrible he died. Really, really sad. What a terrible thing that has happened, but that has nothing to do with why I make these posts. They're just moronic, inappropriate posts I make for the fans who signed up to see them. Hang on. Sorry. The only thing I had against Kobe was that he torched my teams over and over again. He made me hate the Lakers with all my heart. Nobody came out to comedy shows in LA when he and Shaq were winning titles. And then nobody came when he was doing it on his own. I loved saying how much I hated the Lakers. Hating the Lakers was my favorite thing to root for. My team was in North Carolina and they fucking sucked. And then they moved to New Orleans and they still fucking sucked. The best they ever did was occasionally get to mediocre. But I could always enjoy a Lakers loss. Lately, I love posting about how bad the Lakers were doing, razzing their fans when they were going through the recent lean years. It's been such a fun back and forth with fans online, so they all knew that I would publicly rejoice every time something bad happened to them. With that background and my background of celebrity death posts, Kobe's passing was a perfect storm. I knew I had to come up with something really awful, and that's what I did. That's what I always do. If I knew the other people were on that helicopter, I probably wouldn't have posted anything, and I would have just waited for the next celebrity death. But I'm not actually celebrating his death. I'm not actually celebrating any of their deaths. That's just an act. It's playing a heel. Ralphie May was a close friend of mine. I even posted one of these about him when he died. He helped me a ton when I was getting started in comedy, gave me advice, fed me when I was poor, and he used to love those posts. So, of course, I posted one when he died. He would have been disappointed if I hadn't. That's just dark comedy. It ain't for everybody, so I posted for everybody. I posted for my followers who are into that kind of comedy. You're not supposed to see it if you didn't sign up for that kind of dark shit. Of course, you get mad if you saw some random guy celebrating somebody who really likes death. It's not supposed to be presented to you like that because that's not what it is. In reality, it's a comic telling inappropriate jokes to his followers who like inappropriate jokes. Do that what you will, but that's what's happening. I'm sure I'll post inappropriate stuff about people in the future. Those are the jokes I like, so those are the jokes people who like me like. I'm niche. It's that kind of comedy's niche. But that's what I do. I ain't actually hurting anyone because beyond giving an occasional panic attack to a friend. They're just words, and they're not even serious words. They're jokes for fans. R.I.P. Kobe. F the Lakers.
Oh my God, that was worse than I ever imagined. That was horrible. Ari Shaffir is terrible. Oh my God. He was probably better off just saying, fuck, I messed up. Wow, that whole word salad of bullshit. Oh wow. Okay.
Again,
good luck. Hey, good luck.
You're attacking Jewish people, and that's your choice.
What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment for the craft.
You're
what
the
an
one-
embarrassment for people who've had him on his show. What an embarrassment for comedy clubs that have had this. Are you serious? That's what he wrote? Wow. This guy is just as, oh God. But you know what? I will say this about Ari Shaffir. This is great.
And you don't even know what he did recently, do you?
Ari Shaffir, you know what's great for him?
He gave Bert Kreischer a dose of Molly or acid without him knowing. And it was a real problem.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
hey.
they were mad at each
Hey,
other.
if that's
That is a real problem.
that's very dangerous.
Actually, I
and
didn't know.
deadly.
He's losing 20 more points
Like,
now.
he's Jewish. What, didn't you say Jesus was a black man? Yeah, can't have one or the other, pal.
I just said Jewish. I said Jesus.
Ari
was white.
Shafir is as Jewish as it gets.
I just said Jesus was
No,
white.
you've been saying
I'm just saying. I mean,
that Victorian creamy white skinned
Why
Jesus
can't
ain't
you have
real.
a black Jewish
I'm
Jesus?
just saying, if the cradle of civilization is in Africa, then it's very difficult for me to believe that blonde dude that's on the wall in my grandma's house is
I
actually
adore
Jesus.
Sammy Davis Jr.
I
A Candyman can.
damn, that was a guy stuck on. Good luck. Here's what I say. Here's the thing that I think Ari doesn't also realize is that like this isn't even a black thing. Like sometimes it's kind of you pick a segment of a community and you take shots at them, and then that community is the one that's outraged. The thing is, entertainers, especially LA, alike loved Kobe. So you literally picked the wrong celebrity to joke about. It's as far as
That's weird that
managing
it was a
your
joke.
career going forward. As I said, it was less than 24 hours after his agency dropped him,
Right.
and I'm sure after realizing that he's having difficulty finding representation that he decided to put out this long Instagram post, which is also telling as to who he is as an individual. But to sit up here and say, to lie in a statement, I didn't expect him to lie in the statement, to say that you didn't know. The early reports literally said multiple victims. Early reports even suggest
I for one thought Kobe. That's all I heard. I heard Kobe.
there were multiple
we have
reports that
text
said that
bits of
his children were all of his children were on the plane. There were multiple reports
They've
early
suspended
on.
that
They
reporter,
suspended,
by the
even
way.
suspended the reporter who said it. So I'm saying is Ari Shaffir, and then to say the pilot also died. What did the pilot have to do with Kobe? You know what I'm saying? So you're saying good job to the pilot for not gassing the chopper. Well, the pilot did too, idiot. So I'm saying, why are you going to lie? All right, Shaffir, now that's even more embarrassing that you're going to sit up there and lie. Don't lie, Ari. Just say you fucked up.
I would want someone to ask him just, all right, do you think this is now a shtick that you will continue? And it seems as though he will.
Yeah.
And there are obvious ways to avoid what has happened here.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if one of your thoughts is not to continue it, then I don't know what to tell you. Because obviously this did not turn out well for you. So wouldn't you question yourself as to whether or not I should... I'm not even getting into... What's happened has happened, obviously.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think it's weird for him to say that, yeah, I'm going to keep doing this instead of like, maybe this isn't a great idea, especially since I obviously just told you all that I don't pay attention to the details involved when I do this.
There you go.
So it just
he's
seems
telling
like
himself.
it just seems like you would do this again and fall into the same situation. So how
Exactly.
stupid is that?
Right, and then it shows.
That's just stupid.
And then it lets me know that you're not sincere about this at all. That's not a sincere
Yeah,
apology.
I mean, if you want to not have this happen again, wouldn't you take steps to make sure this happens?
Like, you know what, going
you're
forward,
like,
next time, let me
you're
try-
like, I got
Yes.
3 to 10 minutes.
Yes. Yes.
Well, wait,
right. Well,
what if you don't have what you need to make
exactly.
Like, why would you
Exactly,
would you
Gardner.
want less information when
Thank
you could
you.
have more information
Thank you.
to even craft a better joke if you're going to do it?
Thank you, Gardner.
So you can be better at your job.
Exactly. So you can be funnier, so you can actually nail the punchline.
Yeah.
You're literally just said, I'm too lazy to write a funny joke, so I'm going to be vindictive. You just admitted it. And then you tried to put, it's a joke, it's just words. That's the passive-aggressive bullshit that pisses me off. On one hand, you want to try to respect the craft, but you just acknowledge you don't give a shit about the craft because you're just making it up as you go along anyway. Yeah. So it's like you want it both ways.
You're not offended as a person. You're offended as a joke writer.
Thank you. That's what I'm really more pissed off about than anything else. Obviously, it was incredibly offensive, but I'm more like, you only have 3 to 10 minutes. Who came up with that rule? You're a seasoned veteran comedian that's been on Comedy Central and Joe Rogan, and you're sitting up here and telling me, all I got are 3 to 10 minutes. That's you're pulling this out of your ass. Yeah. But I'm happy for Ari because he will have an opportunity to perhaps work for this Trump administration. Because that bullshit he just put out on Instagram, that's an embarrassment to the craft. Fuck just being an embarrassment as a human being. Why the fuck is this guy going to continue to be a comedian for the rest of his life? Because he sucks. The end.
Okay. You did well.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, you attack the Jewish community like that.
Shout out to my Jewish brothers and sisters out there. Holla at your boy. I'll see you on the basketball court sometime this weekend.
2 points, 8 rebounds. That's what we'll get from him.
That's what I'm here for, man. I'm just here to do the dirty work. I'm here to help my brothers out. That's what it's about, being with my Jewish brothers and sisters.
2 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds.
No, I mean, look. When my boys got their yarmulke on, my goal is to, make that thing pop, baby. Get it to the outside, let them knock that baby down. I draw in the defense, and I pop it back outside. It's not about me scoring.
The next time you
it's about to get my brothers
play
involved.
at the Jewish Community Center, are you going to shoot it? When you shoot it, yell Kobe?
I'm going to shoot it. I couldn't
Are you
I?
going to do that?
Kobe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you kind of got to now, right? All right, what do you got? What do you have? How can you top that?
Oh, it was just interesting again. You're going to take that route, and then whenever it comes time to claim your guy Jesus, you say he's dark-skinned, but okay. Travis, you're a known worshiper of the House of Mouse, correct?
Oh, no.
Are you?
Oh, no.
Are you?
Oh, no.
Like you stand by that, and you stand by black women too, right?
Oh, no.
You stand by the House of Mouse, and you stand by black women. Now,
Oh, no.
you worked at Sesame Street. What would one of the number 1 rules be if a child sees, like, what's the worst thing that can happen within reason, not being murdered, anything like that? If a kid goes to Disney World or Disneyland, would you say that I don't know, one of the main characters, Mickey, Minnie, if their head was removed and the dream was ruined, would you say that could be an ultimate scarring experience that you would never live down and potentially become a dangerous member of society?
I don't know if I would become a dangerous member of society, but I would be scarred.
Highly
seeing
traumatic.
A decapitated Mickey, yes.
Or Minnie.
Or
It's like when my friend Sean was around a couple of kids, and he was wearing a bunny outfit, and he had the bunny head kind of up, and he was drinking vodka and smoking a cigarette.
no, that really, no. Why is Bugs drinking from his neck?
Hey, kids.
Oh, no. You're not supposed to talk under those things either, Chris.
No, and you're really not supposed to, I don't know, but you support black women, right? That's you,
Yes.
no matter what. No matter what.
I think there's
no matter what. That's what you scream at us. on a daily basis.
Even if she's wearing a MAGA hat and going against a white woke family on Family Feud.
I have to, yes.
Roll
say-
tape,
Are you
Gardner.
getting ready to run?
Yeah, you should.
Oh,
You should.
oh no.
Okay.
What's going on?
Expand that. Go ahead and play it again. Make sure we see the what happens at the very
Whooping
beginning.
on? Who's she whooping on? Damn, Minnie got hands! Minnie got hands!
Look at Mickey.
Where is this? Oh no. Where is this?
Off come the heads.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, buffer.
Oh
Buffer.
no.
Buffer.
Oh
Try
no.
again.
What happened? Oh, what happened? Where is this, Gardner?
I'm not sure.
Oh no, guys. Oh, look at Mickey. Mickey like, no, Minnie, no!
Because he took
Minnie,
a punch.
no! Oh no, don't do that to me! Minnie, no! Minnie, no, don't do that to
We gotta go.
me! Yeah, I gotta go. Dude in the arms like, yo, grab the head. We gotta dip out, bro. Yeah, Minnie ain't no bitch. Minnie even
off
took
her
off her
shoes.
shoes.
Takes up his shoes.
Grab the heads.
So what's the problem here?
Oh.
What happened here? We don't even know the context in which why the fight started to
We
begin with.
certainly do.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we do.
What's the context?
Sorry.
We can
What
listen
happened?
to
Man?
it all.
Oh, maybe they were from DreamWorks. Maybe it was somebody from Nickelodeon. Maybe.
DreamWorks.
maybe it was Universal Studios that came over and they had issue. What was it about, Chris? How did it get started?
2020, this is from comicbook.com. A Minnie Mouse cosplayer got into a confrontation. Video ended up on Twitter. All the fight isn't in the original tweet, but the person playing Minnie was obviously aroused by whatever said before. She took off the costume's head, and the fight began. Another performer in a Mickey Mouse costume tried to restrain his co-worker, got hit in the face by a glancing blow for his trouble. Hilarious bit, a very strange occurrence is the Goofy character gathering up the mascot's heads while the brawl is developing. Minnie at one point gets pulled off a woman in the fight, but pops right back up and enters the fray. There wasn't more of a crowd. Yeah. Oh, there's Mickey. Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's all they have on
It
it.
looked like, I mean, I don't know why there's a, I mean, we don't know the context. That person could have said something that was highly
Listen,
inappropriate to
listen.
Minnie. And
There was
Minnie,
also a black woman she was fighting with, so still
we don't
caused the
know
trouble.
if she was a black woman.
that's
It
very
could- she
obvious.
could
I
be-
know she ain't no bitch.
She's the Minnie ain't no bitch. I think that if anything, that just lets you know that Minnie is about female empowerment. She's letting people know that
So, it's a
I'm
bad
not,
look,
I'm
man.
not a
Kid's
bitch, and
childhood
I will
ruined.
fight.
You wear that. You wear
There
that.
were no
costume,
children around. Did you see any children
you
around?
wear
Chris kept
that-
saying children. I didn't see one
they're
child.
Online. There are kids online. There are
Wait a
kids
minute.
online.
That's
Now
online works like that.
millions of children are going to see that. And
And-
listen, you know what? You've sat here and revered the House of Mouse.
Are those
Over
Are those
and
official costumes
over
though?
and- they are.
Are
Look
they
at the heads.
official?
Look at that. I'm sorry. Look at that. That's
She did
just
say
disturbing.
cosplayer. Oh, look at that.
That is
Really
disturbing.
backing down.
I don't know if that's official.
Okay. Listen.
Is this inside the theme
The
park? Where
fact
is this
that
like
you're
a-
okay with this.
Oh, look at her on top.
Yeah, she ground and pound.
Mm-hmm.
Chris, you can't respect that. You as an MMA fan can't
Listen.
respect her ground and pound.
The issue is
Look at her left. You're not impressed by her left?
that's assault on a black person by another black person.
I don't know if that person. Oh, stop. Ooh.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know if that
Mickey.
person was black, Gardner. Can we get a
Oh.
close up? I don't know.
Okay.
I don't
Do you
know
really
if
wanna
that's
do this to
officially
yourself?
another black woman she's
No,
fighting.
It's official as shit.
We lost it.
No, we didn't. Current situation.
I just saying. I don't know why you have a problem with female empowerment and defending themselves. You are a big fan of fighting yourself. You've had several fights in your heyday. Am I correct?
No,
none whatsoever. Never had to punch anybody and fight someone. No.
Pacifist. Pass my fist through your teeth.
And like I said, we can't. This woman may have been a plant sent over by
no,
again,
no,
Universal.
this is pathetic.
This
You
is-
sit
This
here
could be
and you-
Fox getting back at Disney for buying them out a year ago. We just don't know the details.
I see what's happening here. The CNN brothers have teamed up together,
CNN
and you're here to take down rural white America. I get it. I get it.
I just think it's. I mean, but you're telling me. I mean, Gardner,
Listen, children's lives are ruined because of black folk.
I think if anything, a lot of young girls out here who have been told about how to be a Disney princess and how to walk a certain way just to please a man, what that Minnie did right there showed those young ladies, you ain't no bitch. You ain't no bitch, and you ain't gonna be disrespected. So whether you're Minnie or whether you are Buzz Lightyear or whoever you decide to be when you grow up, you ain't no bitch. And I think, if anything, we should reward Travis for more points for seeing black empowerment like that.
Well, I think we're done.
That's pathetic. I can't believe you support children's lives being ruined like that.
There
Gardner.
was no child around, Gardner.
And
Not
the-
one
and
child
the,
was
and
present.
the pathetic nature that you have displayed for the House of Mouse just shows that you're willing to brush anything under the carpet if it means that you get taken care
The
of.
House of Mouth apparently employs black people. So how am I going to be mad at the House of Mouth when there were
Well, they
two
were
African American
I
people
wasn't
committing
clear-
first-degree assault.
I wasn't clear if they were employed or not because they said cosplay.
It said cosplay, so,
So
I don't know
are
how
they
they
dressed
dressed
They're
up.
representatives. They're official representatives of the House of
I
Mouse.
don't know if that's
If you
true.
don that, you
said
have
official.
you have a certain
Now, if-
responsibility.
If we jump on him for using
You have a certain
hyperbole,
responsibility.
I have to.
If you wear that costume,
You're forcing me to
If
question
you wear the
that.
costume,
If you
you're
wear the
officially
costume,
part of the House of Mouth.
you have a certain responsibility.
Okay, that's better phrasing
Okay.
than saying official.
Okay.
And officially, they ruined a bunch of kids' lives.
Officially, they rule.
What you should have said was, shh. And officially. All right, so
I was nervous for a moment.
the
I
month
was
of
nervous.
January, 620 to 510, Travis beats Chris.
Going into Blackurary.
You know, you pull out this stuff with Ari Shafir, and there are a million black preachers
wasn't-
online condemning homosexuality. I could have shut this shit
Hey,
down.
man, you should go to it. You should tap into
But
that.
Chris, I mean, it wasn't Ari Shafir that really helped Chris or Travis win this.
Okay,
game.
we
I
don't
think-
need to see
I
that.
think we know.
They love my watermelon, cause you know they're just so sweet. Red or yellow meat, my prices can't be beat. They the best in the land. One bite you understand. Trust me, I ain't playing. One taste and you'll be saying, You love
They
my
love my
watermelon.
watermelon. Holla at my baby girl. Thank you for doing it.
Look
And
at
you
how
know what?
pleased. Look
and
at
I,
that
and I want to see
face.
if we can invite her on for Blackurary. I'm
if
very
I-
excited. I'm gonna get her on to talk about those watermelons.
I
Maybe
wonder
we can get her to ship us one of those methamelons. And
Now you're okay picking on
I'm not. I'm just saying
substance abuse,
Yeah,
but
be
I
careful.
bring up Delonte West.
Be
And
careful.
that was cool, man. You'd have to bring Delonte into this.
you're attacking a somebody with a substance abuse issue.
Stop attacking LeBron's father.
That's so messed
Son of
up.
a bitch. But you know what's not messed up, Chris? Making it racist.
Man.
Oh, I didn't know
Really?
you were doing that.
Oh, I didn't know. I saw it on the rundown.
It
I
is.
Just figured, okay, my bad. I should have done a better job at setting that up. You know, sometimes I
I'm
was.
undressing the white elephant in the room. I'm breaking down the barriers of race by assimilation.
I wouldn't mind to have black neighbors.
That is racist as hell. It's raining little white women. My prayers have been answered.
Black women have the nicest asses.
If that ain't the whitest thing a white man has ever whited in his life.
You do not have to say African American, just say black.
Oh, well, in that case, you know what word I miss? Colored.
Don't let the liberal media tell you how to think and feel. If you have hate in your heart, let it out.
I'm racist as hell.
That's deserved.
It's the segment that I don't know. I'm worried. Obviously, you know, our time is coming to a close. My fear is that these moments where I can enlighten our audience about historical racial moments throughout our history will no longer be available. But you know,
As
we're-
an international screenwriter and Twitter celebrity, I think you could still keep people
You know what? I
up to
think
date.
I will. I'll do whatever I can. But this is the segment where I awaken the audience to the racism that they're surrounded by. Boys and girls, it's time to make it racist. What do you have for me today, everyone? What would you like to learn? I guess I should say.
I got one.
Go for
Oh
it.
boy.
Job fairs.
Job fair. Let me tell you first of all. You know what they used to call job fairs? Auctions.
No.
You know who used to also have auctions? Slave owners. It's just a place to corral people to give them jobs that will allow them to be enslaved
Dig your way out. That was the worst one you've ever
by corporate America and shackled
done. Oh.
to capitalism,
You say it louder.
There's the
more.
buzzwords.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
oppressed
Uh-huh.
by
Got any more?
economic systems designed to undermine the welfare of minorities everywhere. Job fair, it ain't fair at all. I say it's a job unfair, and you're racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
I thought you were going to be like, they try to get us to go to job fairs, but you know who created them? Lilith Fair.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Lilith Fair?
Who is Lilith?
There you go.
There you go. That's a good one. I think I did well with that one.
Travis, there's
I don't know about that.
no way you can make beautiful dusting of white snow racist.
You talk about a dusting of snow, but it's the snow that was introduced to our entertainers in the 70s and 80s that completely snowed in our community. And it has frozen us out of opportunities for the future because snow is like cocaine. Powdering of snow, you racist as hell. Damn it.
That is racist as hell.
I like snow. Snow is good. It tastes good. It looks pretty.
Frozen you out, you should have just let it go.
Yeah. Snow, I tell you what, it's on top of black ice.
Mm-hmm. Black ice.
Mm.
And what does that mean? So snow on top of black ice
Mhm. So it looks pure.
symbolizes a
Mhm.
power structure,
Yes.
a corrupt, racist
Okay.
power structure.
Okay.
That
okay.
is
Okay.
where you capitalist pigs,
Oh, yes.
you racist as hell.
Yeah.
That is racist as hell.
All right. It's working. It's finally working. You guys even know the history better than I do now.
I think I am getting served ahead of Jason Whitlock.
No,
at the
I see
cookout.
I think it's working. Let me see if it's working on Chris. Chris, I'm gonna try one with you because I know I'm the one usually trying to enlighten our audience. You are just as enlightened as anyone, Chris. Conor McGregor, make it racist.
Conor McGregor.
Yes.
Stephen A. Smith
All right.
made some comments, which he's allowed to do.
That's right.
As a journalist. And Conor,
Mm.
like all European whites,
Okay.
demanded he apologize.
Woo! How dare he ask for an apology? Get him, Chris.
Apologiosity. You're racist as hell.
Ooh, I like it.
racist as
You're
hell.
talking about Conor McGregor, but okay, it's same difference. It works. It works.
I thought
Apologize.
with Conor McGregor, all you had to do is just point to his actual comments that he said to other people.
Oh, him telling Jose Aldo that if it were a different time, he would ride in on a horse to the favelas and take his head and enslave the rest of
Yeah, stuff.
the rest of the
I think
people
all you really
in
need
Brazil.
is like just a transcript, really. Read the transcript.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
transcript.
he can sell a
Perfect
fight.
phone call.
Oh, he can sell. a
So I
fight.
appreciate you not taking the easy route, actually. There.
That's right. hmm
We got any more?
Travis, there's no way,
All
not a
right.
chance,
All right.
not one damn chance you can make Laclede's Landing racist.
Ah. Well, if we're gonna talk about Laclede, then we need to talk about the Laclede family, and we need to talk
No,
about.
not Pierre.
Oh no, we need not Pierre. It's Lamont.
Oh,
Lamont
no.
Laclede.
Oh no.
Everybody knows the story of Lamont Laclede, and if you don't, allow me to interject. Lamont Laclede used to have a 3-on-3 basketball tournament in his down on the landing.
On the cobblestone?
On the cobblestones.
That seems hard to
It would have
dribble.
been that was the challenge. That was the really cool thing about that tournament.
Normal dribbling. Bam! It goes in the
Mhm.
river.
And people were enjoying. Like people would come all around, and Lamont Laclede was becoming this hero for the city. And the white people in St. Louis said, I'm tired of that. I'm not gonna sit up here and allow you to be happy, black man. What we're going to do is flood your landing where you can no longer play basketball. And that's what they did. They blew up the levees. It flooded Laclede's Landing. And that was the end of Lamont Laclede and his family, because now their business would fold. It went, if you will, underwater. So Laclede Landing is racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
But it's named after who?
Lamont.
It's not named after Pierre.
Who was that? See, now that's racist.
Hmm.
Because his name was Lamont. He didn't like going by Pierre.
Pierre is like the founder of the city of St.
No,
Louis.
Pierre is not the founder of the city.
Maybe in your books.
No, in your books, maybe in your little. What else you got in your little books created by Ted Cruz?
Make it racist. Calling Thursday Friday Eve. That's from the Fancy Foyer.
That's I know that's a trick. That's a trick. You trying to add another day of the week where black people can be lazy and take time off, so they would lose focus at their job, thus they would be fired and on the unemployment line. That's where you like to see your blacks. Thursday Eve, you racist as hell.
That is racist as hell.
I got a question. I got a follow up to the previous one.
Okay.
What was the name of this 3-on-3 basketball tournament?
It was called Hoop It Up.
So Lamont Laclede is the founder of St. Louis,
Yes.
and also the founder of Hoop It Up.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Didn't learn that in your history class.
I'm
did
sure
you?
it didn't. Sorry, they didn't teach that in No Fouling.
So they flooded his business,
Yes,
ran him out of his own landing
yes,
with a flood of racism.
yes. And river water.
River water. What kind of water?
River water.
Seems like you'd have trouble saying that.
No, I know. I love river water. It's pretty tasty. I mean, it's pretty effective.
Uh-huh.
It's
All right.
racist as hell.
Okay.
Okay. That'll
Shout
do
out to
it.
my boy Lamont Laclede.
He's a great guy.
For founding St. Louis and Hoop
Hoop
It Up.
I want to see that plaque. I guess we won't ever see that, huh?
Why don't you make it, and we'll go down there and put it up.
Yeah, we'll go do that. Don't touch it, y'all.
Again, if I had just a ridiculous disposable income, I would have done that in a heartbeat.
Make a plaque.
Make a plaque and just. That's the funny thing. You could technically do it and put it on the landing, and no one would notice. Like somebody will eventually see it, but no one would be like, no one in the city gonna come down and go, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's true. If you had the means, I think that's what I would do. I would simply make a bunch of plaques, honorary plaques to people that never existed, but put them in places and see if anybody will call them out. Just put them throughout the town, even through the county, and people are like, man,
I need to get you to Seattle so you could put up the one
The
for
Puget or Lose It.
Leotis, Seattle.
Leotis, Seattle. Where did this come from? That'd be a new type of vandalism. This person is literally passing on fake history to people who never existed. Do we charge them with a crime? They didn't spray paint or break anything. They just been putting up these plaques around town. Don't ever.
Alternate history.
You've
Don't
got a
ever-
plaque. Yeah.
You don't ever give me the means to do something like that.
Because then you just want to hang out there and see if people go up and read them.
No, absolutely. You know there's going to be a tourist that's like, that is.
Just brothers walking by going,
That's great.
when they see the plaque.
That's great. Because you've seen people around town, like when they read the things, they go down to the arch, and they just you see
see
tourists in St. Louis, they're just like,
You actually see a guy from St. Louis who recently visited Seattle and comes back and is at Vintage Vinyl, flipping through all the.
hey,
all
y'all
the
got
records.
that Puget or Lose It?
Yeah, and he's trying to find Puget or Lose
That
It.
is when the joke. That's the pinnacle of the joke.
Yeah.
You want him to go into like a Vintage Vinyl after traveling to Seattle and ask the cashier, "Excuse me, sir. I heard this story when I was in Seattle about this very famous African American who
Leotis, Seattle.
Leotis, Seattle. I'm sure you know him. You know music, I'm sure. And so apparently, do you have the Puget or Lose It from Leotis, Seattle? So we are calling the cops, and we would highly advise that you seek medical attention.
I will tell
Sir,
you
this
this.
is a Starbucks.
Like, at least you got the French sounding part right when you went Lamont Laclede.
Lamont Laclede.
There's some alliteration there, too, so that worked.
Lamont Laclede.
But yes, I
want that to be so real. Yes, Chris.
How
the next
long-
time you go on Fox 2 in the morning, I want you to squeeze in a fun fact. I want you to go, we're very excited about this comedy festival that's coming to St. Louis. It's actually in honor of Lamont Laclede, who we all know, of course, invented Hoop It Up and founded St. Louis.
founded St. Louis and
And you just keep rolling because
Founded Hoop It Up.
and the thing we know about morning reporters, they just trying to get through the segment. So they just gonna be like, okay.
yeah, I want to see the smile and nod, and then
The smile and nod.
the quick pivot to change the topic.
I think that's what I
Three
want.
residents drowned yesterday. Yeah.
I want an athlete or a celebrity who has to constantly give interviews to throw in bullshit nuggets in the middle of their interview and see if anybody catches it and calls them out on their bullshit. Hey, Brad Pitt, man, you full of shit, man. You know Lamont Laclede. Is it though? Is it?
A lot of reporters would just try to quickly move on to the next thing.
Like, okay,
Would be the
all right.
thing.
Hey,
But that would be funny as well to see how they do that pivot.
they're like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
How quickly would it if we adjusted Pierre Leclede's Wikipedia page to say Lamont Laclede, and then also
how long do you think it'll go unnoticed?
Oh, I think that one will probably get hit pretty quick.
You think somebody will call it out quickly?
I think so.
Okay.
I've done some editing before.
Okay.
On the city of St. Louis's Wikipedia page. I think I call this the city of renderings.
You
or
should just
something
start.
like
You should
that.
just start a campaign of honoring Lamont Laclede and see
Laclede.
how many signatures you could probably get. Like if you started an online story about how St. Louis is trying to silence the real Lamont Laclede, and you had this whole thing about the history of Lamont Laclede, how many signatures?
Hell,
do
you could probably get a proclamation at the Board of Aldermen.
Lamont, did I mention Lamont also played along Boys to Men? Lewis Reed.
Go
Excuse
on.
me?
Go, hoop it up and
oh, yeah, Boys to Men?
I found the city.
You know what do you do? You ain't said nothing but a word, dog. Better
no.
give me a proclamation.
I ain't say nothing.
Ain't said nothing but a word.
Goodness gracious. Yeah. Keep an eye out. Have some fun events. We're going to be announcing in the next couple days, so that'll be a good time. But again, catch us this Saturday back in Alien Ball, and Travis will be dressed up as Batman. So looking forward to that. For Gardner, for Travis, my name's Chris Stedman. I'm going to do a one-on-one with TJ Miller. He's at Helium Comedy Club this weekend. Be sure to look out for that. See ya.
Birds!